staying up there.
He better.
That's
That name's
about
going
right.
nowhere, I'll tell you that much.
Boom. And just like that, we're
Welcome
off.
to the third episode of Behind the Curtain Podcast.
Behind the Curtain Podcast. Here we
Presented
are.
by Stomping Ground Sports.
That's right. Well, we're here. Episode
here.
3.
It is the hottest day in Connecticut so far.
Very
year.
hot.
And it's, late May. So we're in a good spot. Hasn't rained in a couple days. So
78.
Nice.
78 today.
Yeah,
I think we're
supposed to
touching 80 tomorrow.
Yeah, it's supposed to get up to 90 by the end of the week. So I got to start, figuring something out because
Yeah.
it's starting to get hot out here.
What's the sweat looking like on polos? Like, are we burnt?
Polo's fine.
Yeah.
Polo's fine.
We're okay.
I'm gonna need to start wearing the wife beaters underneath though.
Yeah.
Cause it's getting.
Are
to
those
that.
clutch?
Yeah.
Yeah.
You never
clutch?
worn a wife beater before?
No, not really.
They're good for guys who are not like super skinny,
Okay.
because they just like
Yeah.
hold everything in place. And
Yeah. Hold everything in place.
Yeah, like, you're not,
that.
like,
I
it's
like
not
that.
like-
That's a good way to put
it's
it.
not like you don't look greasy out
Yeah.
here, Like and a lot of like guys who are skinny wear them too, but I think they're more useful
Yeah.
for a man who may not be as slender,
Sure.
you know?
Sure. That's a good way to put it.
Yeah.
I got a story for you.
Oh God.
I got a story
This is a
for
story I
you.
haven't heard yet.
Yeah, I
so
haven't
is gonna
told
be
you this one.
interesting. Okay.
I didn't think we would become an animal pod, but I've got another animal related story.
Okay.
Um,
We got another thing coming.
yeah, so we went with the mouse story last week,
Mm-hmm.
and today we leveled up. We leveled up a little bit. So 2 nights ago, I had to go to the football facility, pick something up from my locker, just a hoodie. Just late at night, I wanted to go and get it. So it was going to be quick in and out. I go in, I park at the loading dock of the facility, and this is right by the back door.
As one does. Yep.
Yep. And so there's a little back entrance, just a 20-foot walk to get there. I go in, I get the hoodie, I come out, and I'm like, all right, easy. This is late at night, like 11:30, you know, and I get like, I don't know, 20 feet from my car. and
You
those
got
guys-
so scared that you didn't look.
No.
You
He,
didn't make eye
it was
contact.
like, it was a sizable guy.
Yeah.
Like, I don't know what to,
Was
it-
it like white?
no,
Gray?
dark, gray, long tail, like
That's probably possum.
big stringy
Yeah.
tail. But this guy seemed like he ate another possum right before crawling under the car. So he crawled right under the car,
Under your car?
right under the car.
Oh, that's terrifying.
And I was like, dude, are you kidding me? So I did what anybody would do naturally, and I just hit the lock.
alarm.
I didn't go alarm. It was so
Oh,
late at night, so I just went lock, unlock, lock, unlock over and over again, thinking the yellow flashing lights would
Yeah.
scare him a little bit.
Yeah.
And nope, didn't scare him. He was nice and cozy underneath.
I would have gotten in the car, went Tokyo drift.
Yeah.
I just put the gas pedal to the floor and
I
gotten the hell out of there.
I should have
Got
done.
the hell out of
I should have
Dodge.
done that, but I was in no condition to go one-on-one with
Yeah,
the possum.
You were rattled.
I was rattled, for sure. I actually thought about going back in the facility and just waiting him out. I was
Yeah.
like, I could just sit on a couch
You're
for
playing a game of cat and mouse with the possum.
Yeah,
Yeah.
cat and mouse with the possum. But I just was like, I don't know what to do. So I just stood there for like 5 minutes, looked in the mirror, and he didn't move. I wanted to hit the alarm, but I just couldn't. And I was like, thank God nobody's seeing this right now, because if they saw me, just scared out of my mind, it would be awful. But after like a good 5 minutes of hitting the lock button, I got down low, tried to find him. I couldn't find him. He was somewhere under the car. And I was like, all right, I'm just going to have to do it. I had my Crocs on. I had shorts on. And I don't know why. I felt like if I had pants on, I would have been more confident, just because like he could have,
Okay. If he was gnawing at your leg.
yeah, he would be
yeah.
touching like,
That's the difference
cloth.
between
That's
you.
what I was
Yeah,
thinking, but
okay.
maybe that's just me.
The difference between a boy and a man is
Something
is
like
the
that,
length of his
shorts and pants. Yeah.
Yeah.
But I was like, all right. I mean, he's not leaving,
Yeah,
and
he
I gotta,
owns your car
yeah,
now.
I gotta go. And I hit the unlock button. And I was like, all right, I'm just gonna run, and in the most unathletic way possible, maybe like do a little 2-hop
Yeah.
into the car, like both feet
Yeah.
up and jump
Yeah,
in.
yeah,
You get what I'm kind of saying?
Yeah, I know all about it.
And I was like, I want to do it as quick as possible. Open the door and boom, jump in. And so I was like, all right, I mean, unlock, make a beeline towards the car, I've got a backpack on. This probably looked awful. I was like,
Yeah.
geez, no one has to see this.
You look
I
like Draymond
yeah,
Green running out there
yeah,
with his
exactly.
backpack on.
Yeah. Open the door, do a two hop, almost trip on the lip of the car.
Yeah.
Get in, backpack like hits the side of the door or something like that. But then I'm in. Quickly shut the door behind me. Lock, just in case.
Yeah, in case possums can
he can open
car
the
doors.
door.
Yeah.
I don't know, but I hit the lock button like 4
Yeah.
times. And I was like, deep exhale, and I was like, thank
Did
God.
you feel like less of a man when you were in the car?
I don't
or
know.
more
I
of
don't
a
know. The
man for
way I
making it
jumped
through?
in wasn't good. It
was
wasn't
probably
great.
pretty
It
pathetic,
wasn't
not gonna
great.
lie.
And I was like, yeah, all right. And
There wasn't a lot of grit. in
no.
that,
So
yeah.
I drove. I had to make like a weird K turn out of that loading dock for anyone who knows.
Mhm.
A weird K turn out of there. And I kind of wanted to find the guy. I was like, if, I wasn't in a bad mood, but I was like, if I find this guy and,
Yeah, I mean, you had some vengeance.
I had a little vengeance, but then
Yeah.
I made my first part of the K turn and he squirmed out of there and on his merry way. And I was like, damn, you may have gotten me today, but
Yeah.
I'll find you at
That
some point.
possum won the battle, but he didn't
Yeah.
win the war.
Yeah. So I
Yeah.
was like, thank God, nobody saw me. But unfortunately, I was wrong. I was wrong on that
Someone
case.
saw you?
As I'm making my K turn, janitor just perched up
Oh.
on the ledge,
Saw the whole
cig
thing.
in mouth, just puffing.
A tale of
And
oldest time.
I look over,
Janitor
yeah,
ripping a ciggy.
I look over my like
Shout
through the
out to
front,
janitors.
yeah, through the front windshield. I look and he's just staring at me,
Was
and
he
I'm like,
laughing at you?
no, just stone cold.
He was laughing at you on the
And-
inside.
Yeah, and I just did the only thing I could, give the little 3-finger.
Yeah.
Hey,
Well,
how's
sign
it
of
going?
respect.
No wave back, no nothing. Probably just like
He lost all respect
yeah,
for
a
you
head
that
shake of disapproval.
Yeah.
And I was like, damn. And then I did Tokyo drift out of there. It's like,
Yeah.
I'm gonna get out of here as quick as possible. But yeah, just a possum story that
I
I didn't
love the
think
possum
I didn't
story.
think I would have this week.
Yeah, I
But
mean,
it
you never
happened.
you never think you're gonna have the possum story until you have the possum
Yeah.
story, and
Yeah,
then it
that's
just
true.
changes your day.
That's true. That's
You ever
true.
had like one of those? When I was younger, I opened up the garbage can, and a snake was in there, and ever since then I've been terrified of opening up like big garbage cans.
Yeah.
So I literally I do one of I open it with one hand and like throw in the
No,
trash
I
with
know
the
what
other,
you're talking about.
and
Yeah.
just get the hell out of Dodge.
Yeah.
Like it scares the crap out of me.
How did
So,
the snake even get in there?
probably makes there's a hole or something in there.
Yeah?
Yeah, I don't know. I don't ask those kind of questions.
Yeah,
I
no.
just avoid the answer.
I don't think they'd be able to answer either.
Yeah, that's true.
English,
They can't
language barrier
Yeah.
there.
talk. They're trying to assimilate, but they just can't.
Yeah.
But
Oh,
another
man.
thing from this weekend, moving out,
Move out. We did.
move out weekend. I'll tell you what, you always have more crap than you think you do,
Yeah.
and it's just an awful, awful, awful venture.
Yeah.
And the gritty stuff you find while you're there, just kind of like all the old stuff that you're like, oh yeah, I bought this, I spent $100 on this, and
Yeah.
never used it,
Yeah.
and you kind of just there's also that sense of sentimental
100%.
last couple
Yeah.
days there.
Yeah. I'm with you. My room's tiny too. It's like a small room, but I had to make like 10 trips to my car.
Yeah, no, you always have more shit than you thought you would.
Yeah.
Yeah, it gets ugly when you move out.
It was. It was a little
But I think
bit.
we can jump into a little weekend roundup.
We can do a little sports
in
talk.
the
Yeah.
sports world
Might as
too.
well
I mean,
talk a little
while
sports
we're
here. Yeah.
Drink in hand,
Weekend roundup.
First, obviously PGA Championship was this weekend.
Big
Xander
golf week.
Schauffele finally gets the massive monkey off his back.
Shout out.
What was it? He 28 major championship appearances, and that was his first win.
Yeah. First win, finally got the big one. That's
Mhm.
been the big question. He can
Yeah.
win some small ones. He can be runner up a whole lot. I
Mhm.
think he's got 16 runner ups in his career, but can he win the big one?
Finally did.
It was awesome.
It
You were
took-
kind of waiting for the
It
collapse.
Took, it took iron nuts too down the
Yeah,
end.
I know. We
Like
were
he-
waiting for the
yeah.
collapse on Sunday.
No, he definitely had to. He elevated his game
He did.
and the other one I want to talk about quickly is Bryson. Bryson's one of the most interesting characters in all of golf because he left PGA, took $125 million to go to Live Golf. All golf fans hate Live Golf, and all of a sudden everyone loves Bryson.
He was
It
electric.
makes absolutely no sense.
The entire
He took
week.
$125 to leave the PGA, and all of a sudden everyone loves him.
Yeah, I know.
Is so is Bryson
And when
the
he
biggest winner of the whole Live PGA debate?
could be,
Because he
could
got
be.
exponentially richer, and everyone likes him way more than they did
Yeah,
when he was on the
I know.
PGA Tour.
What?
So, I
Wild.
mean, I was at one point rooting for Bryson to win this
Yeah.
weekend, and then I took a step back, looked myself in the mirror, and I was like, this guy just took $125 million for me to root for him. Like, this is bull.
He made out like a bandit. Those
But
fist bumps were electric
no,
every
he's
single
electric.
time.
He's electric. But I will say that we had some juice from one of Stump's heroes this
Stump
weekend.
hero.
For the brand,
That's right.
Sahith Theegala.
Yeah. Way to
Um,
be out there. Great Thursday, Friday, which is he
Great
does
Saturday,
often.
too.
Great Saturday. Yeah. Found himself in the second to last grouping, but he was right up there. Still a young guy,
He was in the
25.
last grouping on Sunday.
Second to last. Yeah. It was
He was in
great.
the second last?
They went twos, so
Oh,
he was
right, of course. Yeah. Of course,
Yeah,
of course, of
but
course.
yeah, shout out to him, man.
I love Sahith.
He's good. He's
He's gonna win one of these
he
days.
is gonna win a big one. He's such a nice guy too. They interviewed him and they were like, "How does it feel to be the 13th ranked golfer in the world?" And he was like, "Yeah, that's not true.
Yeah.
I'm just not the 13th."
Yeah, and he
ranked
listed like
golfer."
so many reasons why he wasn't,
Yeah,
and like from like the live and PGA stuff, and then he also listed that like he just doesn't feel like he's that good yet, and like he can get so much better, and it's like he's so humble, but he was also like dude, like you're nasty. Like,
Yeah.
he's really really good.
so good.
And he's like one of those people that like it's like the calm before the storm. I feel like for
Mhm.
him, like he feels like he's in contention every couple weeks,
Mhm.
and like he's someone like Scotty, who when they were young, like Scotty didn't win a bunch, and all of a sudden it was like the floodgates open. He hasn't stopped winning since.
Yeah.
Not to say that Sahith is Scotty, but something similar.
Maybe
I
one
think.
day.
Yeah,
Maybe
that
one
would be
day.
cool.
And we'd be remiss if we don't talk a little bit more about Scotty.
Yeah, I mean,
How about
imagine
that?
Scotty Scheffler getting arrested at 7 a.m. On what was that, Friday morning?
Yep.
Imagine being the guy in Tennessee who's in the drunk tank from like the night before, and you wake up and Scotty Scheffler's
You
in
see
there
him
with
getting
you.
his
and you're
initial
like,
stretches in.
Holy shit.
Yeah.
That guy was probably like, am I still hammered?
Yeah.
Or like, I have no idea what's going. Like the guys probably in there were like, dude, I got a ticket on you this weekend or something. Like, I got $100 for you to win. What are you doing in here, man?
Yeah, I need you.
Talk about like, epic golf story. Shooting 5 under the day after being like hours after being arrested.
Laser
is
focused.
electric.
Laser focused. When he went on the
Stretching in
podium
there,
and said
yeah.
he was stretching, I almost
Yeah.
ran through a wall. I was
Yeah.
like, what am I doing?
And when I say one of the greasier things that I actually saw come out of PGA this weekend is one of the guys who was in the drunk tank with him, like, spoke to TMZ about like how he was feeling in the like what he was
Really?
like acting like in the drunk tank or whatever, the holding cell.
Yeah.
And it's just like, dude, that
Trying to
guy,
get his 5 seconds
yeah,
of fame.
like, that guy probably got arrested for something like way worse than
Yeah.
Scotty does, and he's on TMZ now saying like, oh yeah, he couldn't believe it in there. Like apparently he was saying like basically like this is BS. Like I can't believe I'm in here. Like all this stuff, which is honestly probably the correct reaction from
Yep.
Scotty Scheffler.
Sure.
But like imagine being that guy. Like I'm gonna make money off this
Yeah.
somehow. He's
TMZ.
probably paying his lawyer fees with his TMZ
Probably.
feeding information.
TMZ chomping at the bits too. Like,
Yeah.
was there anyone we could find in there that could get a quote?
We need a list of
Yeah.
all the people who happen to be in the holding cell at the same time as Scotty Scheffler.
Sir,
ASAP.
sir, can we get a quote? Can we get a quote?
Yeah, they're waiting. The guy's
Outside.
leaving the jail cell in cuffs. Can we get a quote on Scotty Scheffler, please?
Oh,
yeah, so
man.
that's good. And then I think the last thing we want to talk about in PGA is our boy Braden Shattuck.
Yeah, what a story.
Yeah,
what a
so
story. You
Braden-
wrote the stump story of the day
Yeah,
on him.
so shout out our newsletter. If you don't subscribe to the newsletter, links in all of our bios.
Mhm.
It's a free subscription. Just send that. We do a stump story every day, and this was our stump story actually this morning, Monday. Braden Shattuck.
Mhm.
He's a golf pro in Pennsylvania, right outside Philadelphia, and he was aspiring PGA professional to play on the tour. And in 2019, he got into a really bad car accident, like nerve damage in his leg, really bad concussion, neck problems, something in his back too.
Mhm.
He was all messed up.
Might not ever golf again. They
Yeah,
said.
and they were saying he would like potentially never golf again. So he became a PGA Tour professional. For those of you who don't know, it's basically like almost every golf club has a golf pro that's certified by the PGA to basically is like your on location like guy who's like nasty at golf, who like teaches lessons, all that stuff. So you can qualify to play in PGA Tour events through X, Y, and Z qualifications and playing in tournaments and stuff. And the club pros play in tournaments throughout the year to qualify for these major championships. So Braden was one of the pros that got to play in this tournament, the PGA Championship, and he was the club low, which basically just means that he was the lowest scoring pro of the weekend. He finished the tournament at -1, which is cool. Great story, blah, 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 made the cut, all that. Where this gets gritty, this guy drives 10 hours through the night, gets 0 hours of sleep, plays another 18 the next day in a PGA golf qualifier so he can play in more. It's a Pennsylvania sectional tournament, so he can play in potentially more major events. He shot a 63, which is 9 under par.
Talk about a guy who loves golf right there.
And won the tournament.
Unreal.
On 0 hours of sleep.
Unreal.
Talk about a sicko.
Yeah.
Like just an absolute
Sicko
golf
is right.
sicko. Playing 18 holes 5 days in a row. And on the 5th day, you sleep
Qualifying.
0 hours and shooting a 9 under 63 and win a tournament.
That's wild. That's wild.
Absolute sicko.
Yeah.
And that was a guy who in 2019 said, I don't know if I'll ever play golf again.
Good story, man.
Like,
Braden.
That is awesome.
Awesome.
Braden Shittick. Shout out you.
Shout out. Good story. I mean, the last thing, I don't want to talk about it, but we have to. NBA playoffs, we're down to 4. No more Cavs, no more Nugs.
Yeah, both of our teams going out between now and this time in the last podcast is tough.
That was brutal, but I think we both lost to the eventual possible finals,
No doubt.
Timberwolves and Celtics look like the 2 best teams right now, so
yeah,
we'll see what happens. I mean,
I 100% agree.
Pacers got heart, Mavs got a lot of heart. So I think we're down.
It's a very interesting Final Four.
Yeah.
It's not teams we're used to seeing.
No.
I mean, obviously the Celtics are, but Pacers, Wolves, and Mavericks.
Crazy.
Mean, this is different.
It's crazy. It's
going
good.
to be exciting.
I think it's good for basketball
it's definitely
too.
a changing of the guard in the NBA
100%.
officially with Ant probably as your face of the NBA moving forward. I'd
could
say.
be.
I mean, obviously him and Wemby probably.
Could be. We'll see who wins. If Luka wins,
Yeah,
he'll just get.
Luka's a dog. So.
But
I think that's going to be a really interesting series. I think
series.
I personally think the Celtics are frauds. So I think the winner of the West is going to win it all.
Yeah.
I just don't think the Celtics have, especially without Kristaps.
Yeah, I don't know what his timeline is.
I don't think they said definitely 1 to 2 games.
Really?
He's out for. Wow. And I think the Pacers can steal one of those first games in Boston. I think they come out and shock some people.
We'll see when this goes out. Game 1 has already happened. We've got game 2 tonight.
Happens, in a couple hours.
But yeah,
I think definitely the Pacers are going to shock people. I think they're going to continue to shock people. Obviously, the Knicks were what they were with all their injuries, but I think, man, like they just got juice.
They've
just
got
one
a
of
lot
those
of
teams
juice.
that just grit.
They're
They're kind of like the Heat, whenever.
Last year.
It's
Totally.
very similar.
Just a
vibe.
bunch of glue guys. That's all it is. Nembhard, Neesmith, Turner, Siakam.
Very similar teams.
They've got good. TJ McConnell.
Yeah.
He's awesome.
He's the epitome
He
of
is
glue
awesome.
guy.
That guy is glue.
A 5'11" white guy who plays defense from 96 feet and shoots threes.
Yeah, he's good.
Yeah.
I like him.
He is good. He's sneaky. He's, as they say about a lot of white guys, he's sneaky fast.
Sneaky fast. Yeah.
Sneaky athletic.
Sneaky fast.
Yeah.
All those terms. He's crafty.
He's crafty.
He's crafty. They call those guys
real
crafty.
heady guy.
Yeah.
High basketball IQ.
Passes the eye test.
It won't pass all the eye tests, but that guy plays with heart.
Yeah.
So I think the Pacers will shock people.
Last thing, I guess we can sprinkle in a little bit of NHL.
Yeah,
Rangers.
Rangers feel like the destined team.
Yeah.
Right now, I'd say, but
They're looking good.
Oilers
just won a Game 7 against Vancouver.
In Vancouver.
In Vancouver.
Yeah. Dallas. It's an interesting series too. I mean, I'd say Florida is the best team that the Rangers have played so far.
Yeah.
So,
I'd say so.
I mean, no wonder the Rangers wanted to play Boston because
I know.
Florida's a wagon.
I know.
They're nasty.
They're a good team.
Yeah.
They're a good team. Boston struck early in that series, and then Florida just ran away with it.
Yeah. And then one other thing I saw this today. Did you see this Bryce Harper promposal thing?
I did. I just scrolled by it.
Yeah. I'm not a big fan of things like that.
Uh-huh.
Maybe I'm a hater.
Uh-huh.
I just think it's weird.
Cringy?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I think it's cringy.
So
Like, if you're a guy and, you have to go get Bryce Harper to, ask a girl to prom, like,
Yeah.
maybe I'm a hater.
Yeah.
Maybe I'm a hater.
No.
Maybe I'm a big, like, I don't like jerseys either because I think it feels like weird for me to, like, especially now being like an adult,
Hmm.
like wearing another grown man's name on my back. Like, I'm not a
Yeah.
big jersey guy. Like, I think it's just weird, and that's something I've actually seen on social media
Hmm.
a good amount, especially from the Call Her Daddy pod
Uh-huh.
section
Yeah.
of females.
Yeah.
They don't like that kind of stuff, but I think it's interesting. Like, I don't know,
Yeah.
like. It's
I
kind of
might.
like Bryce Harper's also like kind of awkward in the video. Like,
Yeah.
it kind of
No,
got
I
blown
did
up.
see that.
Yeah,
I did see
like
that.
it's kind of an awkward
Yeah.
video.
Maybe
I
she
don't know.
went to prom with Bryce Harper. Maybe it didn't work out
Yeah,
for that
I mean,
guy.
if she's going to prom with Bryce Harper, I mean, good for her.
When it comes to jerseys, I might not walk the street in jerseys,
Yeah.
But if the Nugs come to town, like, I'd love to be wearing a Jokic jersey,
Yeah,
I mean,
can
and
see
for
that.
games maybe.
I guess I've just had really bad luck with jerseys in the past.
There's that
Being a
too.
Browns fan,
Yeah.
you change every year.
Yeah. The
Um,
first jersey I ever got was a Sammy Watkins Bills jersey.
I don't even know
So,
the first jersey I got.
that
I know
didn't
the
pan
first
out.
Red Sox jersey I got was Carl Crawford, so that was a
Okay.
big mistake.
Yeah.
One of the first Browns jerseys I did get was Peyton Hillis, though, so that's electric.
There you go.
Yeah.
1-1.
Yeah, that's
You
right.
need one to break
yeah.
the ice.
Yeah, that's right. And
Maybe
I
D.
had,
Mitch.
I had an OBJ jersey too. That was a big mistake.
1-2.
Yeah. Yeah.
1-2.
Yeah. I have a Joe Thomas Browns jersey though. That guy's a Hall of Famer.
2-2.
2 for 2. There we
2
go.
for 2.
Yeah.
Best of 5 series.
That's
Who's
right.
gonna win?
Yeah. Oh God, I would lose in the best of 5 series.
I don't know, man.
Yeah.
I don't know.
I can't even think of what. I had a Jason Bay Red Sox jersey, so that's bad. 2 for 3. Yeah.
2 and 3.
But yeah. I can't even think. My brother had a Trent Richardson Browns jersey. I feel like I just went into like
Deep bag of your
the
jerseys, your jersey
netherworld
collection.
bad jerseys that I've had. But I think there's one last thing I want to talk about
Okay,
from that
let's do
came
it.
out today. Have you seen any of the Jaden Rashada stuff?
I
Do
don't
you know
think I have.
anything about that at
No.
all?
Zippo
So,
zero zilch.
He was very nice. 2023, he was a big time recruit coming out of high school.
Hmm.
Committed to Florida. University of Miami originally, and then Florida came in with like the NIL bag.
We're talking
offered-
football.
Yeah,
Okay.
quarterback. Sorry.
Okay.
Yeah, he was a quarterback. Thank you. He's a Florida kid, and University of Florida, after he had committed to University of Miami, Florida, not Ohio. Go Red Hawks, but not Ohio. University of Miami, Florida.
Uh-huh.
Florida came in and offered him like 4 years, $13.5 million to become their quarterback.
Wow.
Basically to sign with them, sign their letter of intent. And whatever. So he obviously is like, yeah, I'm gonna take the more money. He decommits and announces his commitment to University of Florida and Coach Billy Napier. So what happened was right before signing day. This is all coming up now again because news broke from the last couple of days that he's actually suing Florida head coach Billy Napier, a former Florida UF staffer who ran their collective and a major university donor for false and fraudulent promises.
Wow.
Like to induce his signing in 2022. So right before he was supposed to sign and get a $500,000 signing bonus on National Signing Day, they like dropped the offer, like out of thin air. And there's obviously like a lot of more stuff that came in. Like there's a lot of stuff that happened to it, but basically he's suing and seeking damages exceeding $10 million or the value of $10 million because he lost all that money at Miami by flipping his commitment because Miami had offered him like $9.5 million to come to Miami. So the kid actually ended up at Arizona State after the whole Florida thing went down, played 2 games, went back in the transfer portal, and is now at Georgia. Go Dogs.
Go Dogs. Shout out.
But like crazy. Like
yeah, that's wild.
The thing, like I guess the Jaden Rashada kid was very like hesitant about like suing, but I guess a bunch of people he knows have like went through similar things, and like schools have promised X amount of money and they didn't, come back, and kids are losing out on a lot of money. So this is kind of like this weird like middle ground of the
Yeah.
NIL that like since schools are kind of doing it on their own and there's no real like NCAA like
Yeah.
you know X, Y, and Z rules about it going on right now. Like there's a lot of like sketchy stuff that's kind
Yeah.
of happening, and you know to even go into further about this story, the guy who was like the major donor, who was basically like the one who was planning on paying him all the money.
Uh-huh.
He was like an automotive car dealership guy. He's sold all of his company now, like since this like
Wow.
lawsuit has come out.
Saving is that.
So
Yeah.
like it's really like a weird rabbit hole, like sketchy situation that's going on, and obviously this kid's probably making the bag at Georgia now.
Yeah.
But like I mean he's a 5-star recruit, but it's this weird like area that we haven't really tapped into
Yeah.
yet in NIL that like is probably gonna become like a bigger
All the football
conversation.
Yeah, the football purists are probably like,
Yeah.
"Dude, this is the problem.
Yeah,
This-
no, it's
this
bad.
is the problem."
It's gonna get really ugly really quick with this kind of stuff because there's gonna be a lot of people out there who said like, "Oh, I was promised $500,000 and I've only gotten 150. Like
Yeah.
I can sue now."
Yeah.
Like it's gonna open up like floodgates
Yeah.
probably, which is terrifying for a lot of these big universities who promise big money and don't necessarily always follow through with it. Because before you could do this behind closed doors and no one
Yeah.
would have, like a player could be
Mhm.
promised $500,000 in 2010,
Yeah.
and then people don't pay.
Not anymore.
Like who are they gonna go complain to?
Not anymore.
No one. You know what I mean? Like now it's like they have someone to complain to, and it's gonna be a court. Like your ass
Yeah.
is going to court now. So it's gonna be interesting to see how it all plays out.
Nuts.
It's been kind of developing over the last couple of days. But the guy who's actually representing him is the same guy who represented Deshaun Watson.
How about that?
Yeah. So
Another
it's-
thing.
Yeah. So there's
A lot of layers
lot
there.
of layers. To
Wow,
this
I did
story.
not know about that. But that's a
Mhm.
great.
It broke today.
Really, that's a great tidbit.
Yeah.
That's a great tidbit.
So it's gonna be. I don't
We'll
know.
see what
You're gonna
happens.
see a head football coach on the stand in a courtroom probably.
Nuts.
Yeah, I mean it's a bad look for college football.
Yeah.
I'd say.
I mean, this is gonna be a wild gear switch here.
Yeah,
But
I
it's
think
time
we
to get
have-
into word wall.
Word wall. Word wall.
That was good.
Yeah, you
I like that a lot.
Yeah,
That was
thanks.
good. Before we get to the word tying into it, just got to shout out our sponsor.
Yep.
Not really sponsored by Quaker Oats, but we're
Yeah.
sponsored by the word grit.
Yep.
Just shout out by grit. That's instant grits,
Grit.
but it's just grit overall. So you wanna talk about just grit for a second? Our word wall. Last week we went with chalk.
Yeah.
And now we've got grit.
Grit. So, grit is exemplified in a lot of ways. I'd say grit is most casually defined as something that is chiseled,
Yeah.
something that is beaten down on, kind of earned,
Yep. Hard work.
hard work,
Yep.
desire.
Yep. In
attitude.
the trenches. In the
Yeah,
trenches.
But I would say that in the sports world,
Sure.
it's very much like the guy who you can count on.
Mm-hmm.
That's a gritty guy. The guy who's not afraid to get his hands dirty.
Yeah.
In hockey,
Hands
it's
dirty.
your enforcer.
Yep.
The guy who's literally goes out on the ice and just beats the crap out of somebody and
Yeah.
gets off the ice.
Gritty.
That's grit.
Grit.
But I would also say that grit in a lot of ways, like, it could be like anything.
In the trenches. O-line. Like no one
O-line is
talks
a
about
gritty
them,
job,
but it's
man.
gritty.
Gritty job.
It's
Fullback.
Fullback.
Grit.
Grit. Yeah. Lots
so
of
much
grit
grit
there.
going on in the fullback there. Like a guy like Anthony Sherman. Shout out UConn Huskies. Anthony Sherman, that's a gritty guy.
Gritty.
You don't know who Anthony Sherman is? Look him up. Pro Bowl Hall of Fame. Pro Bowl fullback. Probably one of the greatest fullbacks of all
Yep.
time.
100%.
But that's gritty.
Yeah.
And-
Baseball. The bullpen catcher.
Yeah, those
Gritty.
guys are gritty.
Like he's not going to go in, but he's just there,
Mhm.
catching balls.
A lot of those guys are failed professional baseball players. You know that?
Really?
A lot of them are minor leaguers who just never panned out.
Oh.
Now we're just like system guys
They're
that
just
like
chilling.
people really liked, but
Yeah.
like good guys,
Uh-huh.
but they just didn't make it.
I did not know that.
Yeah, that's what
How
a lot of
about
those
that?
guys are. Some of them are like former pitchers. It's
Yeah?
interesting. Yeah.
Huh.
But I would say that grit in general is just a do everything guy.
Yeah.
A Swiss Army knife.
100%.
A guy who you can count on,
Yep.
or a thing you can count on.
Grit's a compliment. If someone says grit, like you should
If
be
someone calls you gritty,
you should be honored.
that's like the highest level of
Yeah.
compliment.
Yeah. I'd rather be grit than a superstar.
Yeah.
Gritty.
No doubt. As unfortunate as it can be, like on the court, like Pat Bev, gritty.
Yeah, he's gritty.
He's a slap the floor,
is.
play defense,
Sure.
96 feet,
Sure.
like guy.
That whole genre, like the TJ McConnells, the guys who are going to pick up people, you know, the entire way down. Drew Holiday, you know.
Dennis Rodman,
Dennis Rodman,
all-time
grit,
gritty guy.
big time grit out of
On
Dennis.
and off the court.
Yeah.
He's gritty.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, he is gritty.
But on the
and
flip
off.
side, like sometimes we'll use gritty in like a sarcastic way.
Yeah.
Like, ooh, that's gritty.
Gritty.
Like almost
Greasy.
too. Oh yeah, like almost too gritty. Like
Yeah.
you don't want to be involved in that.
No.
Like, ooh, that's gritty. Like I don't know if I
Yeah.
can pull that one off, coach. Like that's gritty.
Yeah. But that was good. Word wall. That's our second
Word wall.
word. We're gonna try to build a little.
Word wall.
Build a little.
Word wall.
Build a little. What's the word I'm looking for?
A
here?
wall of words.
Yeah, a
Yeah.
wall of words.
Stacking words.
All right, one story each now.
Yeah. You want to go first or second?
Yeah, let's change it up. I'll go first today.
I love that.
I'll go
out of
first
you.
today.
Wow. That just fired me up.
I'm glad. I'm glad.
Floor is yours, King.
Floor is mine. Preach. So there's a guy was just drafted in the NFL. He's a fan favorite all of a sudden. You know, maybe you've heard of him. Maybe you've seen the clips. We're going to talk a little Keon Coleman here today. He's become kind of social media NFL darling. You know, so many clips coming out. But let's just go a little bit more about
High personality.
Yeah, he's got good personality, good juice out of him. Just a little bit about Keon Coleman. Coming out of high school, 4-star basketball recruit. He wanted to become a pro basketball player before he wanted to become a pro football player. Commits to Michigan State, thinks he's going to be a 2-sport athlete. He had the dreams of being a 2-sport athlete in college, which is nuts.
Yeah.
Football and basketball, like that's just not going to work out. But he tried it. You know, he was under Tom Izzo for a little bit with the team.
January, February, Izzo.
Izzo. He is March. March is Izzo. But he played basketball for a little bit, and while he was playing football, doing, you know, mini camp or whatever.
Draymond Green-esque.
Yeah, Draymond Green-esque, 100%. And then he had a talk with Izzo, and they came to the consensus that, you know, he's a great basketball player, could possibly go pro if he stays, but he loved football, you know, more. And Keon was like, there's more spots, you know, in the NFL than there are in the NBA. And that's just a fact.
53 is larger than 12.
Just a fact, you know.
I can do that math.
Yeah, you can. But he just went all in on football freshman year. Not a great year for him, just 7 catches, 50 yards, 1 touchdown.
Learning year.
Got into the lab that offseason and broke through sophomore year. 58 catches, 798 yards, 7 TDs. Became a guy, an absolute guy out there. And then, you know, entered the portal, went to...
Portal success story.
Yeah, big-time portal success story. He was down to Ole Miss and Florida State. And the best part about this story is, you know, he was like, you know, I don't even care about NIL. I just want to go to these schools, just see the system that's in place. Talk to the quarterbacks, talk to the receivers, talk to the coaches.
Football guy.
Yeah. Didn't want to go out and see what the, you know, going out scene was like in either school. He was like, I just want to be all ball.
Yeah, I mean, it's not like he was picking... You know.
Yeah, one was better than the other. I
he's
know.
picking Tallahassee or Oxford, Mississippi.
Yeah.
Like, you know.
But credit to him for not caring about that and caring more about all ball. Chose Florida State, and you know, if you look up his highlights, he's a freak.
He jumped on the scene.
Yeah.
That first game, he had 3 touchdowns.
100%. The LSU game, and on TV, and it was just like, whoa, who is this guy?
They couldn't stop talking about this Michigan State transfer.
Yeah, but shout out. I mean, yeah, now he's all over social media. Maybe you saw the Macy's jacket clip, but he was asking everybody, where's
Or the cookies.
the cookies? You know, where's this jacket from? How much do you think it is? They're like $500, $600. He's like, no, $87.99 at Macy's.
Yeah.
I bought it during spring in preparation for the winter. So he's a good dude, good egg.
I like that.
Yeah, that's all I got about Keon Coleman.
I like Keon Coleman. That's a good story.
Good
That's a
dude.
happy.
Yeah.
He's a guy you want to root for.
He is a guy you want
Obviously,
to root for.
you know, you being a Bills fan,
Bills
it
fan,
plays a little bit into
a little
it,
bit
but,
into it,
You know,
but
I'll root for Keon Coleman.
Thanks, man. Maybe everybody will root for Keon. We'll see.
There you go. Yeah.
Yeah.
You can need the help right now. I'm going to switch gears to a little combo of women's basketball and women's soccer, professional athletes. So if Angel Reese.
I know her. I'm familiar.
Yep, Chicago Sky forward.
Yep.
National champion at LSU. All-American at LSU.
Yep.
Originally started playing at Maryland. She's from Maryland. She is part of an investment group in the DC Power FC, which is one of the new USL Super League women's soccer teams.
Okay.
So, which is kind of cool to think about a 22-year-old
that's awesome.
being a part of a investment group into another sports team,
Yeah.
which is sick.
I own half a share of Chipotle, and I
Yeah,
think
there you
that's
go.
great.
Yeah, yeah,
Imagine that. That's
yeah.
wild.
So this is actually, it kind of works into the thing we talked about earlier with NIL. It's actually pretty cool that, like, obviously NIL is the reason she has these significant funds where she can, do something like this.
Mhm.
So that's kind of one of the pros of NIL,
Yeah.
on the other side of it.
Totally.
So it's kind of cool that, you can see the two different sides of NIL success. She, obviously made all this money in undergrad, and, now she's investing back into women's sports.
Yeah, that's awesome.
Which is really cool. But the USL Super League, not many people know about this league. It actually hasn't even started yet.
No.
So it's going to compete adjacently to the NWSL, which is the only professional women's soccer league in the United States right now. And it's going to feature 8 teams in its inaugural season, which is this upcoming August. But the weird thing is kind of like they're both like tier 1 soccer leagues. So like it's not like the USL is below NWSL or like the other way around.
Little
like
1A,
they
1B.
both compete at what is considered like the highest level of soccer in the United States.
How about that?
Which is kind of interesting. And the other interesting part is the USL already has a pretty successful men's side of it. So these women's teams are going to be competing like a lot of them already have facilities because the men's teams have facilities. So it's kind of going to be this, like the NWSL has been around for 11 years now. I think it started in 2013. So it's going to kind of be this, I guess, arms race to see kind of who takes on like the women's soccer professionalism in America. Because obviously women's sports right now are blowing up all over the map. Like in everything. Like the NWSL had their highest TV ratings, their highest profits, their highest attendance in history, in their 11-year history this year.
That's awesome.
And the season started a couple weeks ago. Or a month ago or so. So they're blowing up right now. And the USL is interesting because, like I said, it already has those kind of teams, the men's side to kind of like piggyback off of. But they also follow a traditional soccer schedule. So NWSL just started up, right? While all of your major soccer is stopping right now.
Good timing.
Because international play starts in the summer. Like the World Cup's always in the summer. The Summer Olympics. So the USL follows a much more traditional soccer schedule. So they start in August and they'll run through the spring. Obviously, it's all southern. They're all really southern teams for the most part. So it's going to be kind of this interesting, like, which one's better in the United States, because now, like, the USL has the ability to recruit foreign players to come to the United States and play because it's a more traditional schedule. So, like, the MLS even follows this kind of off-season schedule. So, like, foreign players don't have to decide, like, hey, I want to compete. I want to play in the NWSL, but I don't want to miss the Olympics. You know what I mean? And if you want to garner the best talent in the world, like, you're going to have to take away from those teams. You know what I mean? Like, that's what you want to be. You want to be recruiting people to your league that play at an international level because that means they're good at what they do, right? So it's kind of this, like, interesting, like, how's it going to work out? And one thing that the NWSL doesn't have that the USL already has is these academies. So, like, in soccer, like, academies are huge. Like, it's an international thing, like soccer academy. So you start playing for an academy when you're, 10, 11, 12 years old, and then you grow up in the academy, and then eventually, you hope to make the professional team at that academy. NWSL doesn't have any of those. The USL already has 40.
Wow.
And they haven't even played a game yet.
Wow.
They already have 40, like, signed on. To start in 2024.
You kind of just juiced me up about women's soccer. Like,
yeah,
I'm excited. I want to watch.
So they haven't signed the TV deal yet.
Okay.
But the men's USL did. So they're thinking that, like, a lot of people are thinking that they signed with CBS Sports Network.
Gotcha.
So there's a lot of people are thinking that they're going to kind of leapfrog
segue into there.
Yeah. So I think it's going to be really interesting, like, a major battle for public attention on, like, where women's sports are growing and, where their eyes going to be. There's been some conversations already between like, it's kind of like a weird like cat and mouse game right now. Like who's going to be the first to, say like we'd like to work together in the future. But there has been some conversations about like potentially like let's team up and do like a tournament. And NWSL has 16 teams, while the USL only have 8. But there's already 8 teams on the waiting list for 2025.
How about that?
So looks like the USL is going to be legit.
Wow, that's awesome. That's
and obviously
awesome.
and there's now 135 more, I think was the number, roster spots for professional women's soccer players in the United States.
Yeah.
So no matter what, I mean, that's awesome.
Yeah, that's sick.
Yeah.
A new sports league. How about that?
Yeah.
That's got juice. Serious
It's
juice.
got juice. I mean, Angel Reese is bought in.
Yeah.
Are you?
I mean, how much does it cost?
We don't got Angel Reese money yet.
Yeah. All right. That's okay.
But yeah.
Wow. Nice. I think those were 2 good stories. I'd say those were 2 of our better stories that we've had.
Yeah. I do think so too.
In our vast, hundreds of stories that we've told.
That's right.
Episode 3.
Episode 3.
Is it time for the juice station?
It's time to juice some juice.
Juice graphic across the screen.
That's right. If you're watching on YouTube, juice graphic.
Shout out.
But I think it's time we do our glue guy on 3.
Glue guy on 3.
We're gonna look to our producers.
If the squad has some categories, Griff, Faith.
I know Griff has some.
Oh, he's shaking his head.
Griff's
He's got
ready.
one. He's got one.
Griff's ready in his Blues
He's
Clues
ready.
polo back there.
Glue guy, nightstand item.
Oh my God.
Wow.
Nightstand
item. All right. We went 0 for 3 last week. Let's go 2 for 2 today.
This
Let's
one's
go
tough.
2 for 2 today. I mean, the glue guy. Man, there's a couple. Like just.
I'm drawing a blank right now.
There's a couple like stars, but I think they could also go hand in hand with the glue guy. I've got a glue guy. The guy you just need. Yeah. I've got a glue guy.
I got one for you.
Griff's got it too.
Okay.
All right.
I got one for you.
3, 2, 1.
Alarm
Charger.
clock. Oh my God. I really thought we were going to have that one.
Wow.
Charger's chalk.
Yeah, but like if you don't have that guy, you're in shambles. Like you need
you're
that
really
guy.
bad at charging your phone.
What do you have?
I was thinking either charger or water.
Water's
Water's
a great
great.
one. Water's a
We've
great
had
one.
water as our glue guy before
Yeah.
on the newsletter.
Wow.
That like 3 a.m. water, especially when
Yeah.
had a couple 2-3 extra to drink that night before,
Yeah.
and you roll over and you see that water just staring back at you. That
Alarm clock.
that lukewarm, gritty water.
I'm still not over that. Yeah, alarm clock. It's
Alarm
good.
clock's
It's
glue.
good. Like the old school one.
Yeah,
I'm not
like
gonna
the
make
one
that
where you have to
annoying.
like tap
yeah.
to hit turn off. That was more of what I was at.
Yeah.
That's kind of like an old school glue
Old
guy.
school glue guy.
'Cause
80s.
everyone
That
just
would have hit
used
in the
to-
80s, 90s.
Yeah.
Like I think
Yeah.
they would have gone crazy
Yeah.
about that glue
Yeah.
guy.
Yeah, they would have went nuts.
I love this guy's laugh.
I don't think they were talking glue guys in the 80s.
No.
If you say that one to if you ask that, if you explain the concept of glue guys to anyone born before 1990, and you said bedside table,
Yeah. They would go alarm
they
clock.
would go alarm clock. I think
They might
Charger's good though.
They might go barnacle.
Barnacle.
Is that even the right word?
What's a barnacle?
Isn't that even monocle?
Monocle.
Thank
what
you.
the hell is
Sorry.
a barnacle?
Sorry, wrong word.
Barnacle.
That's
This guy's
gotta be
got
something.
bunions.
I'm gonna need some fact check on that if that thing even exists. But the monocle is what I meant.
Like to read a book.
Yeah, I don't know. A lot of people
What are
have
they in
that.
like a theater or something like
Maybe
that?
I don't know.
Watching,
They
like,
needed to go to their play.
watching contemporary dance.
Oh man.
Yes, very good tonight. Yes.
Yeah. All right. That was
That
good. That
was
was a
bad.
great first category. Faith, you got one for us?
Sure. Glue guy kitchen appliance.
Oh, I got a good one. I got
Really?
a really
Right out of
good
the
one.
gate?
Yeah, I'm ready to go.
Man, all right. Give me a second here. Glue guy, kitchen
Oh, man,
appliance.
I'm fired up for this one.
Kitchen appliance.
This one's actually really good. I like this one.
Mhm.
All right.
Oh
Yeah, he's got it.
no. That's the star. That's the star.
I got a
was
really
thinking
good
of.
one.
Really?
Yeah.
All right.
3,
2,
2,
1.
1. Crock
Blender.
pot.
Oh,
Oh.
damn.
Blender
Yeah.
literally glues things together.
He
though.
glued things
I
together.
like
That's what I
that.
was saying. The crock pot.
Crock pot's
Yeah.
glue.
That guy could
because,
do a
like,
whole lot.
If you explain the concept of a crock pot to like anyone,
Yeah.
it is the wildest thing in the world. It's like, oh, so you can like pretty much cook anything. Yeah, but
Yeah.
like I'm gonna need water, and like you're gonna make sure there's plenty of water in there, or maybe like some type of stock of sorts. You're gonna need water. I'll cook things for you, but it's got to be bathed in water,
100%.
and it's gonna take like 6 to 8 hours.
Yeah.
And
It'll
like,
be tomorrow's dinner. It'll be
oh,
ready
but
for
like
tomorrow.
it's probably like pretty quiet and like probably doesn't bother a lot of people, right? Because it's like 6 to 8 hours. No. Like the whole house is gonna smell like whatever I'm cooking.
Yeah.
And like you're gonna come home from school in middle school and you're gonna hate your life because
Yeah.
you see me on.
Oh yeah.
But I'll tell you what, some of the best meals I've ever had in my life come
It's
out
gonna
of
be
that
good
crock
food.
pot.
It's gonna be good food. No doubt about it.
Yeah, like especially meal prepping and stuff like that.
Mhm.
Like crock pot, like that's your guy.
Yeah.
That thing helps.
Man, I'm suddenly really hungry.
Yeah.
Like I could really go for some food right now.
But blender's a great
No,
answer.
blender. I was just thinking like at first I went air fryer, but I was like,
That's
that's
a
just the
star.
star player. That's
That's
the
a
star
star.
player. He's in your starting five. He's your all star.
Yeah.
You know.
He's the all NBA. That guy
Yeah.
does everything you could ask from it. It cooks.
Yeah.
It bakes. It fries.
Yeah.
It broils.
Broils. Good
Yep.
word.
Yep.
Good
Does
word.
everything you could ask from a star player.
Yeah. But blender, I don't have to get into it. He literally like turns.
Blends.
Yeah. Blends.
Glues
Glues.
thing together.
Glues.
Yeah.
Shout out to that guy.
Homer glue.
Glue guy. Maybe. Yeah.
I like that.
That was good. That was two great categories. Wow. Okay,
Wow,
let's do one more, and then we'll go
I'm
into
ready.
quotes on glue.
Curveball, 12-6.
Vacation spot.
Oh, I got a good one already. This one's like chalk potatoes. Like this
Chalk potatoes.
one's line them up, shoot it down.
All right, let's go then. Because if
Okay.
you're thinking chalk potatoes, I think
Yeah.
I got it.
Yep. 3,
3,
2, 1.
1.
Florida. Yep.
There we
Yeah.
go.
Yep.
Chalk
Yep.
potatoes.
Yep.
There we go. We got one.
Yeah. Yeah. No
Alert
doubt.
the press. We got one.
Florida is the most
Yeah.
like glue guy
100%.
vacation spot. Everyone goes to Florida. Everyone goes to Disney.
Disney.
Oh, where'd you go for spring break? Oh, Florida. Your buddy, your fifth grade, your buddy. Where'd you go for break? Oh, Florida.
Florida, Miami,
Florida.
Disney. Yeah, there's a lot of spots
Florida's a
down
cool
there.
guy. My first initially, my head went to Atlantic City,
Ooh,
which is almost
Wow.
like greasy, not
almost
really
greasy.
like gritty.
Almost greasy.
And then I went to Myrtle Beach. I kept
I thought
actually
Myrtle
working
Beach.
my way down the Atlantic coast
Mm-hmm.
and got
You
all
got
the way down.
so
to
you
Miami.
got down there. It took you. You
Yeah.
got there
Because
pretty quick.
I even between I went this was actually how my train of thought went. I went from I started off with Atlantic City
Yeah, sure.
and I went down to Myrtle Beach
Yeah.
next.
Uh-huh.
And then after that I went straight down to
Yeah,
Florida.
you went all along the
I
coast
went
there.
down the coast.
Wow, I'm
Yeah.
surprised you didn't start up at Maine. Maybe.
Yeah.
I mean, people go to
Maine's-
Maine. Actually, I've kind of wanted to go
I
to
like
Maine.
Maine.
Yeah,
Maine's
I want to
great.
go to
You can
Maine.
Find a nice lake and a cabin
Yeah,
up in Maine,
I'd probably like a-
Bring your fishing rod.
Yeah. I don't know how to fish. I gotta learn.
I'm really bad at it.
I gotta
so
learn
it's
how to
okay. It's
fish.
really not hard, but
Really?
it's just like waiting, which is annoying. But I don't get why people find that relaxing. I just get anxious. But that's just
Yeah.
that's just me. Like, when am I gonna catch a goddamn fish? Like,
True.
But
It's
yeah,
got to be a good eat though. That's got to be satisfying.
yeah,
Eating the own fish you caught.
yeah. I bet people who like back in like Native Americans,
Sure.
like they definitely enjoyed their food way
Yeah.
more than us.
Yeah.
Like when they killed that deer,
Yeah. Yeah.
set an arrow. Sorry, this is getting dark, but
No,
like
that's
put an
okay.
arrow in it
No,
and then
they
like,
use their-
skin it and eat it. Like that's
Yeah.
got to be a satisfying dinner,
Yeah.
like a
Probably.
venison stew. Like you're like, wow, like,
Venison
this is all
stew.
me.
100%. They
And
probably
you
had
probably even grew the vegetables that are in the stew.
probably. You know what they probably grilled it on? A barnacle. Probably.
What's
I have no clue. It's got to be something. I don't know what that
a
is.
barnacle's like in the
Boats,
ocean?
the ocean,
Yeah,
Huh?
If they like grow on boats on like the bottom, you like scrape them off.
yeah. They're
Oh, it's like a-
actually
it's like a-
pretty like nuisance.
Really?
And not good time.
You don't really want barnacles.
So it's gritty.
It's grimy,
Greasy?
grimy,
Grimy?
grimy.
All right.
Yeah.
I thought maybe one day for 1
No,
minute I'd be
you're-
able
you're
to
off
mix
on
that in.
barnacle. You're
That's
way off
okay.
on barnacle.
Monocle. All right.
Yeah.
Quotes on glue.
Close on glue.
Quotes on glue. Snake draft. Quote. Song. Glue.
I go first.
Whatever you want. You choose.
I quote. I'll go first. Okay, so this one's in the NBA world. This is
Okay.
an older quote. I'm bringing it back to the light.
Whoa.
So a couple years ago, it's literally 2 words. Anthony Edwards, a star of the Minnesota Timberwolves.
Sure.
He was asked what his favorite nickname of himself is.
Uh-huh.
His response, Black Jesus.
Wow. Talk about.
And I'm saying this is the reason I say this is my quote of the week, because if that guy brings Karl Anthony Towns and Booty Gobert
Booty.
to the NBA Finals, he might be Black Jesus.
Yeah.
Like, because those guys are awful, and he's just he's a dude.
Yeah, I'll tell you what, man, that team.
If he can lead Rudy Gobert to the NBA Finals, you know
Yeah.
that Rudy Gobert is the highest paid player left in the NBA playoffs right now. He's the
Nuts.
13th highest paid player in the NBA.
That's crazy, man.
And he's the highest one left.
That's crazy. Good quote, though.
Yeah.
Great quote.
It's simple, but
Simple.
effective.
I like that.
Yeah.
So this one was actually texted to me yesterday.
Oh.
I'll leave it, anon, but
It's gotta be me.
it just kind of fired me up. So, when my buddies text me, he's like, I looked myself in the mirror and said that I'm not a quitter and that quitters are for losers.
Is that me? Did I say that?
No.
Okay.
That is something you would say, but that quote, I just started laughing. The second he said that to me, he said quitters are for losers.
That doesn't even make sense, but that's
It makes
what I
zero sense, but I was like, that is absolutely
Quitting is for losers.
Yeah, that
it
is
would make sense.
absolutely
That's
gonna
awesome.
be my quote for the week. So
Yeah. Quitters are for losers.
it was electric. I'll shout him out.
Facts.
Yeah, Jake, shout out you, man. It was a great quote. Great quote. All right, quote. Snake draft. Song. Should I go song now?
Yeah.
All right, I got a good one. This is like one of my all-time favorite songs. I'm gonna quote a couple lyrics here. I don't know if anyone's familiar with Agnes, Agatha, Jermaine, and Jack, but I'm going Just a Friend, Biz Marquee.
Oh, wow.
Great song, just high vibe song.
Yeah, I wasn't following in the beginning.
No,
but
that's okay. The
electric.
niche Just a Friend people, they'll
Yeah.
get it. The
That's
Biz
a great
Marquee
song,
follow,
though.
just a great song.
Yeah.
Turn
I
it
love
on.
that.
I'm gonna actually listen to it on my way.
That's a good Windows down.
Windows down song.
For sure.
Yeah, for sure. All right, give me
I'm
your
ready?
song.
Okay. Mine is, you're going to love this one. Billy Joel, The River of Dreams.
Oh my god.
I think
talk
that
about-
is one of, I think that's my favorite Billy Joel song.
It's a great song.
To be honest with you.
So good.
And it's like not, honestly, like people don't know that song as much as you think they would.
Yeah, they go to Piano Man in Vienna first, don't they?
Yeah.
Yeah.
And like there's a bunch of, like he has obviously a million great songs.
Great
And they just go down the list. But like a lot of people don't know about River of Dreams.
Yeah, and
It's
if
a
people,
really good song.
And if people don't know about that, imagine the other hundreds of songs
Yeah.
that he's got so many good. That's a great song. Great song. I love
Great
that song
song.
of the week out of you.
Yeah.
All right, give me a glue guy.
Glue guy?
Give me a
Alright.
glue guy.
So mine is pertinent to my past weekend experience. Obviously it's allergy season, and let me tell you, I was banged up.
You were
this past-
battling.
I've never had allergies in my life, never.
Yeah.
And this weekend I thought I was dying,
Yeah.
like actually dying. I couldn't hear, I couldn't breathe, and like I like literally couldn't because my ears were all messed up. I had horrible balance.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm moving out. So, like, I'm literally going through the mud.
Yeah.
Like, I'm getting dragged through the trenches. Like, I feel awful. So, my glue guy,
Yeah.
nasal mist.
He's
Nasal
so
mist.
missed.
My glue guy of the week.
Wow.
Literally, my glue guy of the
Yeah,
week
he
allows me
is.
to talk on this podcast right now. I feel like I need a holster
Yeah.
on my side with nasal mist,
Nasal mist,
in
quick
my
draw.
pocket. Literally just and just spray that thing up there.
Wow. It helped.
Because,
It
dude,
helped.
it is life-changing. Who knew?
Yeah.
It's just saline, I think.
Yeah.
Like it's literally like nothing crazy. It smells like. Thank
Fact-
you. Check on that for me.
Fact check that for us.
It tastes like I don't think I'm supposed to be tasting it, but it goes like into your nose and you get
Mhm.
like that taste
Sure.
of it. You know?
It's like a minty, right? It's like a.
No, it tastes like salt water.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
I gotcha.
I have no idea if that's my glue guy of the week.
Wow. That is a great glue guy.
Yeah, saline.
Just saline. Yeah.
Salt and water.
Wow. That's it. That's
Let's
it.
freaking go, man.
That's it.
Good for me. But
Yeah,
yeah,
good
that's
for
all
you.
it is, and it clears out your sinuses,
How
I
about
guess.
that? Yeah.
So
There you go.
shout out nasal mist.
Shout out Nasal Mist.
And if you're Flonase or some like company that wants to, make me a nasal mist holster,
Yeah,
I'll
sure.
wear it on the.
I mean,
I don't
are we
care.
gonna start sponsoring a nasal mist company?
Dude, why not?
We should reach out this week to every nasal mist company there is.
Mhm.
Consider that a lock.
Mhm.
All right, completely, totally different glue guy here for you. I've got a dude here.
Okay.
So this episode's coming out on May 23rd, Tuesday. That is the 66th birthday of Drew Carey.
Oh,
The Price is Right host, longtime host of The Price is Right on your CBS. I don't know You know, when I
Channel
was
3.
yeah, for me it was Channel 2. I didn't know if it was for me it was the 11 to 12 o'clock slot in the morning. But talk about just a great show, great guy, a lot of juice, a lot of glue. Yeah, he's my glue guy.
All-time Cleveland Browns fan.
Is he? Oh yeah,
big
he is.
Cleveland
He
guy.
is a Cleveland guy.
Yep.
Yeah.
All-time Cleveland Browns fan. And
Yeah.
then, you good on that? 'Cause I
Yeah,
just
that's
got
all I got.
breaking news. That's actually hilarious.
Is it trustworthy? What's the source here?
Yeah, it's Bleacher Report.
Okay.
LaMelo Ball allegedly drove over foot of 11-year-old who wanted autographed after Hornets event last season, and that family is suing LaMelo Ball.
Oh my God. That's nuts. They should be suing him.
Breaking news on the Behind the Curtain podcast.
Yeah, let's get some nasal spray for that guy who just got his foot ripped.
Yeah, he
Yeah,
needs.
he needs
he
a lot of
needs
nasal
something.
spray right
He
now.
needs more grit. That family needs more grit.
Yeah,
But that is hilarious.
yeah, that's wild.
Objectively, that's really funny. What a way to get sued.
Running over
They
a
just
kid's
want
foot.
they just want some of the big baller brand
Mhm.
revenue. They want a little of that money.
There's a
coming
lot
in.
of it. There was a lot of it. I don't know what the status of that company is now. What's LeVar Ball doing these
What's that
days?
guy up to?
What is he up
Can
to?
we get a pulse check on LeVar
Man.
Ball, please?
Does he have a pulse? I don't know. He's
He
probably
got real quiet when Lonzo like shattered his knees.
yeah. And LaMelo got hurt, and LiAngelo's in some
Chinese league. I think.
D5 league up in
he plays in
Taiwan.
China.
Yeah. Man, hell of an episode today.
Great episode.
I think that was a great episode.
Shout out to Stump Nation.
Stump Nation. Yeah. You know what? I will end with this a little,
Shameless plug.
not even a shameless plug, but what I will say is, you know, we're on episode 3 of this Behind the Curtain journey, all of us here in this room and all of us watching. And, you know, just a couple weeks ago, didn't think, you know, we'd be starting something like this, but, you know, we just kind of went for it, you know, all of us here. And I think
Follow your dreams.
100%. Yeah. No, for real, though. I think that's what it's all about. I think that's what it's all about. Like, just not knowing what you're going to do and just
That's right.
going after it and just starting something. So, you know, if you're watching and, you know, you want to start something or like just start it, you know. I want to read a book. I've been wanting to read a book for like 2 months now.
You can borrow one of my books.
Yeah. I just found one, Phil Knight, Shoe Dog.
Yeah.
I'm going to start reading that today. And, you know, I'll have this whole audience and everyone watching to keep me in check by the time we're back here next week.
We'll do a page check.
Yeah, maybe we do a
next week.
page check, and you know, everybody watching, maybe you start something
We'll
too.
start doing reading logs for Zayd, like
Yeah,
you do
there you
like
go.
back in like elementary school.
There you go.
How many pages did you log this weekend?
I know,
Zayd?
something like that, But
That's a great book.
that's all I got.
Did
Just
you see
want-
the movie already?
Yeah, great movie. But
Yeah,
yeah, great movie. But I think that's all I got. That's all we got.
Embrace the unknown.
Embrace the unknown. So, hey, on that note, you know, thanks for joining us behind the curtain.
Episode 3.